Already 4 service breaks here in the first set.
That you wanted her to get off of her forehand, Tracy.
That's right. Ran around her backhand, smacked it. Good shot.
I think she's assessed that in this first set and has made the adjustment. That's another part of being a great player.
Always adjusting, always being
right.
flexible, being able to change your game.
Right, taking the information, what's going on.
Big day of tennis here on USA. Coming up later, Zina Garrison and Arantxa Sanchez. The last of the ladies' quarterfinals. Then Yvonne Lendl and Pete Sampras. And then tonight, young David Wheat against John McEnroe. And you can tell this is a game between two players who play aggressively, Tracy, because you don't generally see 4 service breaks in the first 6 games of a match that Steffi's in. She gets there.
The sky hook. Steffi tries to hit this lob, and it's not quite high enough. She gets the straight arm overhead. It's the sky hook, one Jimmy Connors used to love to hit.
Another look at it. 30 all.
It's her second double fault.
I know, but it's not how many it's when, and that's a big one. Also, I think Steffi Graf is doing a much better job of being a net rusher today than Novotna. Much more efficient.
So the 5th service break of the first set.
Seems like when Novotna has the opportunity, she's not capitalizing on them. She had a few chances to pass Steffi there and missed them wide. She's got to cut down on the errors.
Now Steffi serving for the first set.
15 Well, Steffi in the first round went through Maureen Drake, 1-1, and Rachel McQuillan from Australia, 1-3. Elna Reinach from South Africa, she had a little problem there. And then Jennifer Capriati, no problem there, 1-2. Actually, when she went 3 sets with Elna Reinach and had to play Capriati next, that's why everybody kind of billed it as an even bigger match, because they didn't think that Steffi was playing well. They said that she was very vulnerable. She wanted to change everybody's mind against Capriati.
long, and it's 30-15.
30-15. Well, good overhead. Didn't really put it away. This was excellent volley. Now, I thought Steffi was going to beat her up on this one, and she didn't quite get up that forehand. In fact, some people feel that's Steffi's weakest shot, the short forehand.
I think it's one that she does have a tough time with, especially when you slice it low to her forehand, because you can see when she takes the racket back, it's so high, and to get it from way up high to down low is more difficult. And sometimes, I mean, I'm being very critical here, if she does have a weakness, but sometimes she maybe doesn't get up to it and doesn't get down enough.
And a set point now for Steffi Graf. Good look at Jana Novotna. Can't be too happy with herself, letting that slip away. Great touch. First set, Graf, 6-3.
Captures the first set, 6-3 over Jana Novotna. Coming up next, number 4 seed Zina Garrison takes on number 5 seed Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And right now, let's check in with Diana Nyad, who's with Willard. Thank you, Diana. So coming up later today, Zina Garrison, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. Right now on Stadium Court, Steffi Graf up a set and a break in the second set. We'll be back.
Look at the first set statistics. Steffi Graf, Jana Novotna, and the glaring statistic, net points.
That's right. We talked about Novotna. She's going to beat Graf. She's going to have to go to net and be very efficient up there. And look, Steffi Graf's done a much better job at net than Novotna. 9 for 15 versus 5 for 13.
Started with a service break for Steffi to begin the second set. 15 all now.
30-15. And Steffi's also playing much better from the backcourt, where she is the strongest. So all around, she's playing better so far.
Oh, that was a tough serve. When you're out there playing, you don't have to hit the serve hard, but try to keep it deep in the service box. First serve.
Steffi's serve, second serve, is always deep, and it has so much spin on it. So it's a really hard serve to attack.
Game draw. She needs 2-love.
2-love. And Jana has not had a good day on her serve. She's been broken 4 times, winning just 9 of 27 service points.
First serve. Jana Novotna over Laura Lappi from Italy, 3-1. Rinaldi, who used to always be the youngest in everything, 4 and being, of course, Laura Gildermeyer. Gildermeister. That's a very good win. Laura's got one of the best forehands in the game, and of course, beating Katrina Maleva. That's the one. She was seeded number 7. Novotna seeded number 12.
And she's got her serve going here, 40-love.
Even when Novotna served well earlier, I don't think she's backed up her serve very well. You got to do both.
Game Novotna.
Love game for Jana Novotna, but she's down a break here in this second set. Women's quarterfinals, the 1990 U.S. Open. Defending champion Steffi Graf against Jana Novotna from Czechoslovakia.
30 love.
There's that serve again, Billy, that you said is her most impressive serve. It's her third ace. She gets such a great angle on it.
Only one Grand Slam title this year. Australia.
Game Graf.
So 3 unreturnable serves, or 3 airs on the return, and an ace in that game. Boy, it's nice to have that serve as a big weapon. Get a lot of easy points.
Jana's the only one in her family to play tennis. She began at 8 years of age.
And that's twice she set up the points so well, and Steffi was able to get out of them. Now watch this court coverage by Steffi. Barely gets it over. The ball lands about 2 feet over the net, and Jana hit it right back to her.
Low 40.
Now triple break point for Steffi Graf.
If you're Jana here, I think you want to slow down and try to regroup. It seems like she's moving faster. You want to take your time.
First serve.
Seems like she's getting a little irritated at herself.
Saves the first one. Winner here into the semifinals. Play either Zina Garrison or Arantxa Sanchez, and you'll see that match next right here on USA.
Game Graf. She needs 4-1.
4-1, Graf, second set. The Graf Express rolling through the quarterfinals against Jana Novotna.
She's just overpowering here. She's just attacking the ball, assaulting the ball, dominating just about every point. Novotna just can't do anything to change it up.
And after 11 unforced errors in the first set, only 1 for Steffi in the second set.
30 love.
This is the best I've ever seen Steffi serve and volley, or just volley. Her net play is exceptional today. She can do it all.
She's always volleyed well, but I think she's moving better up at the net, more like a natural volleyer.
Yes, her approach shots are better. The transition is much more comfortable for her.
Usually the ground stroker has a good volley, but it's getting there in that transition, as you talk about, Billy.
Whew. Steffi Graf's the best.
#1 among the #1s, the longest streak.
By 1 week over James Scott Connors.
It's amazing they were all so close.
Game draw. She leads 5-1.
Love game for Steffi Graf. Now Jana Novotna is serving to try to stay in this match. They've been playing for 50 minutes.
15 love.
Novotna's going for the Grand Slam in doubles with Sakova. They won the Australian, French, and Wimbledon this year, and they won Wimbledon last year. So she's got 4 Grand Slam doubles titles in women's doubles, that is. And 4 in mixed doubles with Jim Pugh. Jana Novotna is not concentrating.
Steffi Graf played doubles with Lori McNeil here. They lost in a tough 3-setter. She goes yesterday.
Excuse me, Tracy. Steffi has won 13 of the last 15 points.
30-15.
Didn't miss by much.
All.
30 all. As you said, Tracy, Novotna cannot handle the pace of Graf. I mean, even to try to come off, try to come to net off that last shot. It was too deep, too hard. Oh.
40-30.
Jana just hoping that was out.
I wouldn't want to be playing Graf today. Like just watching the ball. I mean, just standing there and say, good shot. Can't even get out of the block.
DEUCE.
Noise you hear in the background, that's the number 7 train that goes back and forth from Manhattan. Good look there at Jana Novotna, just trying to hang on.
Advantage draw.
And match point. This match typical of the U.S. Open for Steffi Graf. The match that took any time was against Elna Reinach. "54 minutes. Steffi Graf is through to the semifinals over Jana Novotna 6-3, 6-1.
Workman-like fashion, Steffi Graf 6-3, 6-1 over Jana Novotna. So the number 1 seed has advanced to the semifinals. That's the 15th consecutive Grand Slam semifinal appearance for
regained her form and her confidence against Jennifer Capriati. She had also beaten her at Wimbledon. This one was just an incredible dismissal of the young American. Then she beat Jana Novotna 3-1, and she looked even better in that match, I thought.
And Sanchez Vicario has not lost a set. Steffi lost 1, as you pointed out, Tony.
And she's done an awfully good job. 6-4 is the worst set that she's had played against her. And Garrison, of course, that's not a fair score because Zina was hurt, had an Achilles tendon problem, couldn't really run an attack, so she had to try to stay back and keep the ball in play. That's not her style, so she wasn't 100%. But again, you can't take anything away from that young lady. She's done everything she's been called upon to do.
Jane Tabor is the chair umpire. A little bit on the windy side, but not bad at all, considering the forecast of earlier today, which was ominous.
Quiet, please.
You can
Steffi
see
Graf to serve.
the flag stretched out like that.
Play.
There is some wind, and it swirls down on the bottom of this octagonal stadium.
15 love.
Steffi Graf will get it done in a hurry if she's going to get it done, if her opponent will allow her to do that.
Love.
Arantxa is the only Sanchez who hasn't had to play John McEnroe in this tournament. Her older brothers, Javier and Emilio, both lost to McEnroe. Arantxa's name now has a Vicario on the end. That's her mother's
30-15.
name, which she attached after she won the French Open in 1989.
Here's another look. Her first excursion to the net is a good one. Her approach shot was a slice backhand, stayed down low, and
service.
forced Graf to hit the ball up.
Thirty all.
30 all. Very businesslike.
Yeah, she didn't set up as well as I'd like to see her on that overhead. Her feet were still moving when she was hitting the ball. She had plenty of time, but she did it to perfection, really.
Game Graf.
First game goes to Steffi Graf. He leads 1-love in the first. Tony mentioned before the only victory for Sanchez Vicario was in the French Open. Last meeting, Graf won 5-7, 6-love, 6-1 back in May.
The first time she beat Steffi, which was at the French in '89, was the first time she'd ever even taken a set from her.
Of course, the French is on a clay court. That's right. Arantxa's favorite surface and probably Steffi's least favorite.
But this year, as the defender of that title, she lost in the second round to Mercedes Paz of Argentina.
30-15.
30-15. Graf won the first game. First set.
That's Arantxa Sanchez Vicario's parents, and her agent right in the middle is Stephanie Tollison.
First service.
The Graf family. Father Peter and dark glasses in the middle.
40-30.
That's really a bad error from Graf. She's not trying to do that much with the ball. She's not trying to win the point with it. And as a player of her caliber, you just hate to miss that kind of a shot.
Game Sanchez Vicario. One game all.
Here's another look, and you're going to see what's supposed to be a drop volley. It almost looks like a hit lob. It lands deep, very high, and she's a dead duck right there. Sanchez could go any place she wanted with it, so that's what happens when you make a physical error, not pulling off the shot. Then your court's wide open. That's just part of the game.
Love.
If Sanchez Vicario can stay close in this first set, then this can be a tight match. If Steffi runs over early, it could be a very one-sided match, I think. Here's the return. Good racket preparation, and just rifles that ball down the line. Graf didn't even twitch. She was looking for it to come back cross court. Shooting for her third straight U.S. Open title, Steffi Graf. .40-15. That forehand is lethal weapon 3. And that was a good half volley she made. She did something with it, stayed down and placed it well, got a little pace on it. Good stuff.
40-30.
It obviously helps to be a good athlete. Both these women are good athletes. It's a terrific backhand pass by Graf. Watch Sanchez. Gets over there, fully stretched out, blocks into the open court.
Steffi Graf leads in the first set. 2-1 Graf in the first set of this semifinal. Sanchez Vicario serving now. Right now, let's take you down to John Dockery.
You know, Pat, weather has been a concern here all day. There's thunder showers expected later on, but right down here on the court, there's kind of gusting winds, and it's going right to left. And you may have noticed before Sanchez Vicario's couple of her lobs floated out. That's because of the gusting winds. Back to you, Pat.
15-0.
All right, John, thank you.
So right to left would be from the end Graf is now towards Arantxa. She's a bubbly little gal, isn't she? Sanchez Vicario, she's really enthusiastic, which is a lot of fun to watch.
15-30.
I like the way she speaks her English too. It's very exciting to listen to.
It is.
15-40.
She said about this match.
That's a little bit of a different apparatus to hold the ball behind her back.
She's the only one that I know of on the tour that uses that, and the rest of the women stick the ball up under their skirt to hold it.
Game Graf.
Game to Graf.
Graf leads 3-1.
That's what it looks like. That clips over your belt loop. Well, right there, yeah. They tell us it's become very, very popular in Spain, Europe. More and more in wide use.
I think you should wear one of those. You look cute.
I couldn't reach it.
Service break, Graf 3-1, first set.
Sanchez Vicario told us she wanted to get to the net, but I'm sure she'd prefer it on her own terms. She was up there just trying to deflect some Graf shot. She was like a hockey goalie. When you're at the net, you want to be more in command. But it's something that she's really made a good effort to. She really wants to serve and volley more. Mike Estep is the man that she chose to teach her that. He's worked with a lot of fine players, serving volleyers. It must be interesting for Estep to try to be giving Sanchez Vicario a volley game. Mike has, he was coaching Hanna Mondlikova till this year's Australian Open. Before that, he coached Martina Navratilova for years. Now he's working with a baseliner. Baseliners tend to have more of a counterpunch mentality.
Well, they start your baseliner basically because you learn to play on clay, and it's a slow, high bounce, harder to put the ball away. So someone like Arantxa can chase a lot of balls down. Has good wheels. She runs well. But here, Graf can overpower. The surface is faster. The bounce a little bit lower.
Net. 30-40.
That's her first double fault. Steffi Graf is essentially a baseliner as well, but a very different kind, much more the new age baseliner. Hits the ball very, very hard and has that one huge gun, the forehand. So she can stay on the baseline, draw the short ball and end it.
Not a bad time to come up with a big serve.
It's deuce.
Mary, is there anyone in women's tennis that hits the first serve harder than Steffi?
There's the fastest recorded serve in women's tennis this year is Brenda Schultz, a Dutch woman, 113.
Advantage Graf.
That ball must have hit the paint.
Yeah.
Steffi tends to serve in the 90s. She can really open up her shoulder sometimes and go over 100 as well.
Deuce.
Couple of volleys Graf has missed up there. That one was not that difficult a shot. It is gusty. It's probably the gustiest day we've had, except that one stormy day early last week. Tough point.
Advantage Graf.
A lot of pressure by Graf.
And she had Arantxa running back and forth, so she really wasn't able to try to get in. That's really Arantxa's best chance, is to just track down all the balls she can. Don't try to hit a lot of winners unless you get the short ball to try to attack really what you want, and see if you can extract enough errors from Steffi, because she's hitting the ball hard all the time. She's the one that's really taking the chances most of the time.
Advantage Graf.
Steffi has a very high toss, much higher than you would recommend for anyone, and on a gusty day that can be a problem. See how much that ball falls before she strikes it? Long.
Pretty good net coverage from Sanchez Vicario.
And good hands, good soft hands. When she stretches out for this low forehand volley, she takes some speed off. You see she let that racket head drop back a little bit. Graf did a good job to get to it, but couldn't hit it in the court.
She's a good fighter. Fourth deuce. This is a game that could keep Sanchez Vicario in this first set at 3-1.
Advantage Graf.
And that's one of those that you hate to miss because you're not trying to do anything with it, just try to get it cross court onto Graf's backhand. When you're going for a potential winner, you know, if you happen to miss that, that's okay because there's a payoff the other end if you happen to make it.
An aggressive mistake.
Exactly. There's a payoff if it works. This way, even if she gets it in the court, there's no big payoff. Graf leads 4-1 first set.
And we'll be back at the U.S. Open after this word from your local.
Love.
4-1 Graf in the first set of this women's semifinal. Sanchez Vicario serving at 15 love.
There again, that win from behind Arantxa just carry that ball over the baseline. It's getting stronger and stronger.
Heidi and Peter Graf. Pavel Slozil, her coach, on the end.
He's done a good job, Pavel Slozil, with Graf over the years, and this has been a very tough year for Steffi in many ways. Some personal problems in the family. There's Pavel Slozil. He's a steadying influence. A quiet, nice guy.
Nice to see he's been signed on for another year.
Yep. Two break points for Graf that could really break this first set open to give her a 5-1 lead if she can get one of these 2 points. And to this point, this is what you'd expect. Graf would overpower Sanchez on this kind of a surface.
Well, that's exactly what she's done. That makes it 5-1 first set.
Graf leads 5-1.
Monica Seles has twice beaten Steffi Graf. This year, Zina Garrison beat her at Wimbledon. And that's it for 1990.
Seles beat her in the finals of the French.
And in the finals of Berlin.
Prior to the French, wasn't it?
Yeah, the German. A remarkable thing happened at that when East Germany they had opened up the borders, and there were a bunch of East Germans in the stands, and they had never gotten to see Graf play before. And of course, she lost to Seles for the first time. And the mayor of Germany, in the award ceremony, said, "You haven't seen the real Steffi," and the mayor got booed. The mayor of Berlin, I should say, of West Berlin, said, "This isn't the real Steffi," because she really didn't have a great day out on the court. And his words were booed throughout the stands. Steffi was very gracious and said that Celis just played better.
Is the mayor up for re-election?
It was something.
40 low.
You know, Germany doesn't want, you know, some guy to be apologizing for Steffi Graf. She's such a great champion, and she's got her first set point.
Game on the first set, Graf. 6
She
games
hits it
to
pretty
1.
hard.
New ball.
She wins the first set 6-1. Sanchez Vicario will serve.
Seeing Chris's face there in that commercial makes you sort of miss her. She's been here, just a tradition. First year she has not competed in this Open for quite a while.
Seems odd without her and Jimmy Connor.
Right.
Love 15.
Sanchez Vicario has still only won 6 points on her own serve. She's been broken twice.
She's got good spin on her serve, but it sits up on this kind of a court. And once Graf gets on to one good solid shot, Arantxa is on the defensive, on the run. Depth on that approach. An underspin forehand, which you don't see Graf do very often. Right here, she's come up, she takes the racket head up, goes underneath the ball just a little, but hits it just inches inside the baseline. And it's this relatively easy smash.
Oh! 10 straight points for Graf. You mentioned Chris Evert, Tony.
Love 40.
Graf's dismissal of Capriati on Monday of this week. Didn't it remind you of how Chris Evert had one more great match in her last year on this court when she beat Monica Seles?
Yep.
That was supposed to be the same kind of great matchup. You know, the old against the young. And
15.
She wasn't ready to go quietly.
No, she ended up losing to Zina Garrison here last year. She didn't lose on that day.
These are 2 break points still left for Graf, first game of the second set.
Still break point.
2 sort of veterans playing out here. Steffi's ripe old age of 21 and Arantxa's 18. It's amazing the poise they have at such a young age.
Game, Graf. First
So
game,
Graf
second
wins
set.
the first game of the second set. She won the first one 6-1. Steffi Graf serving. She's already won the first point of this game. That was her second serve on this point.
The drop shot got Graf in trouble, put her on the defensive, and then this ball hitting the top of that was a cinch.
So it's 15 all.
Tough spot to come in from where Sanchez Vicario was. She was moving to her right. Her momentum taking her to the sideline. She tried to block that ball and come on in the net. She couldn't get into a decent position at all.
30 all.
Pretty good way to stop someone cold. And once again, for the second time in this match, we've seen Steffi not even try to go after a big return.
I think it fooled her. Again, she's looking for the ball to come back cross court.
She wanted a call early in that rally and didn't get it.
40-30.
The last game of the first set, she thought she got a bad call back there as well. Here's what she thought about it. She missed that one.
Right on the line. Right on the line.
Jane Tabor in the chair was trying to tell her it was right on the line.
I don't think she bought that.
Players see with their hearts a lot, not always with their eyes. Boy, it's constant pressure.
Graf leads 2 games to love.
Right now, let's go down again to John Dockery.
Yes, if you look closely, Pat, at Sanchez Vicario, her left ankle, you'll see an ankle support on there. And at times, you'll see her limping ever so slightly. She told me yesterday the ankle was fine. She hurt it a little over a month ago, some ligament damage. But you can see the support, so it's on her mind. Back to you, guys.
That was at the Federation Cup. She was playing Natalia Zvereva, Spain against the Soviet Union. And early in the second set, she rolled over on it. Had to retire.
Love.
Actually, she was treated for about 5 minutes and tried to play on and just couldn't.
There's the draw, how both of these two advanced to the semifinals.
Started with 128, you're down to 4.
Interesting that they're all baseliners on this hard court.
30 love.
Later today, the other women's semifinal. Sabatini against Fernandez. And also coverage of the men's doubles championship, featuring Peter Aldridge and Donnie Visser against Paul Annacone and David Wheaton.
We've seen baseliners beat Steffi Graf in the past. Arantxa herself has, Monica Seles has, Sabatini has. The trick is to make her hit one more winner, you know, to keep spitting the balls back at her until she overhits them. Misses. Not easy. Some nice aggression there from Sanchez Vicario.
40-15.
Graf having good luck when she goes to the net. She's been there 18 times and won 15 of them. But that's because she comes in behind good shots.
Sanchez Vicario.
Sanchez Vicario wins the game. Second serve coming up, first point of this game. Double fault.
Love 15.
That's her second double fault, Steffi Graf.
I get the feeling she's trying to get out of the rain. She's going to start making some errors because she's trying to force a play a little bit.
Of course, she plays at such a rapid pace anyway. We keep talking about it. She's out on those court changes well before Arantxa is. 39 minutes. The first set only took 25 minutes.
Graf is up 2-1 in this set, the second.
That includes a break, of course.
Ooh.
That's textbook. When Graf got that backhand down the line, she knew that Arantxa would arrive late. She could only go back down the line with it. She was waiting for it.
Game Graf.
Game to Graf.
Graf leads 3-1.
I think everyone knows that Graf injured her thumb earlier this year. Then she only played 2 tournaments before she got to the French. Really was not tournament tough at all. Then she played no tennis until Wimbledon. Still no more matches under her belt. And she has since played enough tennis, and that's why I felt she would do so well here.
Would you call that a Steffi graphic?
I would say, oh, okay.
First service.
Been ranked #1 for more weeks than anybody in the history of the game. At least open tennis.
She was honored here on Monday for that accomplishment. And if she continues to roll as she is at the moment, that record will just be extended.
Smart play by Graf that time.
15-0.
Short angle backhand to the two-hander of Sanchez Vicario, stretched her out. She couldn't do much with it. Right here, this one stretches her out. She's out of position and couldn't recover.
Oh. 15-30.
Two break points again. This could really set things up for Graf. Would give her 2 breaks in the second set if she can get one of these 2 points.
Game Graf.
Game to Graf.
Graf leads 4 games to 1.
She leads 4-1 in the second set. She won the set. She won the first. Steffi Graf, 6-1 in the first, leads 4-1 and serving in the second. Pat Summerall with Mary Carrillo and Tony Traber.
Graf's already, sorry, Pat, excuse me.
Just going to say women's semifinal at the stadium. Go ahead.
15-love.
Graf's already broken Sanchez 4 times. And Arantxa had only been broken 8 times in her 5 previous matches. So you can see what she's doing to her on the serve. And Sanchez not winning much, 13 out of 32 on her own serve, so struggling.
Second ace by Steffi.
40 love. (40-15).
After Wimbledon, Steffi had a little operation on her sinus passages, and they found that the one side was completely blocked, and she'd been going through that for a couple of years, so she feels 100% better physically.
Especially at the French Open, her allergies really kicked up there. Paris springtime.
By Sanchez Vicario, who sort of sneaked in that last point. And when Steffi looked up, she was making a forehand volley.
Gotten it back to deuce.
Advantage Graf. Graf leads 5 games to 1.
With 2 big serves.
You know, she's already won a Grand Slam title this year. She won the Australian back in January over Mary Jo Fernandez, but she did not play anywhere near this good. This is by far her best tennis in over a year.
15 love.
I think it's partly because she does have the matches under her belt, but this is her best surface. Good footing, through bounce. She has somewhat late preparation, and on grass where you get some funny bounces, she makes more mistakes.
15 all.
She really does have an unusual body to ball point of contact. It's really to her side. And you're right, on clay it can slide away from her. On grass it can slip under her. Kick up high on clay, I should say. With an honest, true surface, gives you a pretty good look at the ball.
Missed it.
30-15.
But because of this surface, I mean, the reason why there's only 3 of the top 100 women who didn't enter this draw, and 10 of the top 100 guys, because it is such a true surface. It favors the attacker or the defender. Everyone feels they can win here.
Match 50 minutes old now.
(40-30).
We're live on the stadium court
Sanchez
at the USTA's National Tennis Center. Women's semifinal.
Graf leads 5 games to 2.
Steffi Graf leads 5-2 in the second set. She won the first set 6-1.
Very workmanlike job by the defending champion, 2-time champion Steffi Graf. She goes about her business, whether she makes the point or loses it. She's ready to go again. That's her nature. She's been playing very solid, powerful tennis.
The #1 ranking was sort of up for grabs coming into the U.S. Open. As I said, Steffi had won the Australian. Monica Seles took the French Open. Martina Navratilova took Wimbledon. So it seemed that this might decide it all. You know, give one player 2 slams. I got to figure Steffi could do that.
Still to come later on today.
I haven't talked to her, but I'll get around it.
The other women's semifinal, Mary-Jo Fernandez against
Time.
Gabriela Sabatini. And also coverage of the men's doubles championship. Aldridge and Visser against Wheaton and Anacone, the Americans. That'll all be after a half-hour break for local news after this match is concluded.
First service.
Graf serving at 5-2.
And been serving well because she's only faced 1 break point today and has only lost 6 points on her serve in this set. Completely dominating young lady from Spain.
15 love.
I think we don't talk enough about how well Steffi covers court. She really is strong. She moves well. She got that ball very quickly so she could get it higher on the bounce.
What is it that she doesn't do well?
She's #1 in the world.
Love.
40 love. Match point.
3 of them.
Game, set, a match, Graf. 6-1, 6-2.
6-1, 6-2 in 54 minutes. Steffi Graf advances one more time to the final. Pretty impressive. Right now, let's go to Tim Ryan.
Thank you, Pat. Impressive indeed. In fact, we're now back to talking about how long it takes her to complete a match. Her average time, as they told you during the match coverage, 60 minutes here during the U.S. Open. Today, 54 minutes, so she beat her own time. And Graf over Sanchez Vicario in a semifinal, 6-1 and 6-2. She now awaits the winner of Gabriela Sabatini and Mary-Jo Fernandez from Miami.